I want everybody to get to know you a little bit too. Tell everybody a little bit about your background and what you do in pro wrestling in case people don't know. We got about 3 minutes ago, and I want to make sure you get your everything in for Revolver too. So
I appreciate it. So I've been involved with wrestling since the last millennium. Like I said before, I started doing things behind the scenes, and I really was like, people were coming to me to help navigate how an event should run. And it was like, I really am running things, but I was also in front of the camera. I was also wrestling. I've moved a little bit more into being more of a mouthpiece. So commentary, being a manager, being the authority figure at a lot of places. I think I'm the general manager of something like 6 companies right now.
nice.
And so it started to take on its own life too. Like, we're the president of wrestling, and now you're the spokesperson for our company too. It happened at Revolver, and now, hey, I also lead a faction that people don't always necessarily like, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. And then at MCW, I'm their general manager, but hey, people on the East Coast seem to agree with me more, so it all works out. It all works out in the end. But have had a wonderful opportunity to live this life in wrestling. I started out as a fan. I had a background in amateur wrestling and judo, and while I was in pro wrestling, got jujitsu. But even when I started my pro wrestling life, I was behind the scenes. I made a choice between, can I pay for college or can I pay for wrestling training? And I paid for college. And then while I was in college, was like, okay, it's I need to do this. So I jumped into getting trained, and then was in the ring for a very long time. And now I have somebody else's knee and a metal plate in my neck. So, hey, it happens.
Yeah.
But hey, last night I had a match in West Virginia. So you never know what's going to happen. And so I stay active in sort of all aspects of wrestling between, like I said, Wrestling Revolver, which will have an event this coming Thursday in Dayton, Ohio, with John Moxley, with Masha Slamovich, with Sami Callihan. So a tremendous roster of talent that's going to be there. With MCW Pro Wrestling out in Maryland that's coming back in September. So I stay active in every aspect of wrestling. I maintain what I call the independent wrestling calendar. So it's a listing of upcoming dates, all the dates I can find from independent wrestling around the world. And I publish that about once a week, just to let everybody know, hey, if you're a fan and you're looking for an opportunity to see what this crazy world of wrestling is, come down and see it. And here's this listing of things. And for talent who is looking for other opportunities, well, they've been using that list to also find, well, what bookings are this weekend? I'm going to be in this area. Can I look at the list? Sure. If it helps you, use it. So I that's how I've come to know a lot of things about other places now, because I've seen so much of that list and what talent they're putting over and what talent is getting over by their own accord. But just what's out there.
That's awesome. Well, Phil, I want to thank you for coming on the Mark Hoke Show, and we got to get you out here to Vegas and get you on FSW card.
I'd love it. That'd be awesome.
Let's do it.
Let's set that up. Well, Phil, thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate it. And of course, you can follow him on Twitter at Trust in Phil. Phil Stamper, everybody. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, everybody.